Oh, shit. Nah, this ain't clickbait. This is not clickbait. Your boy Liangelo Ball has been signed to the Detroit Pistons. Let's go. Everybody congratulating this man because this man has been through hell and back. You know what I'm saying? And I want y'all to take a picture. Look at this picture. This is Chino Hills in 2016. This is a public school. The public school could potentially have 5 NBA players on it. Shout out to Liangelo Ball. Shout out to Eli Scott, who might make the NBA next year. So I just want to talk to y'all about Liangelo Ball, man. So Liangelo Ball, man. It's finally happening, man. LeVar told us it was going to happen. And we all know LeVar Ball is the GOAT. So I don't want to hear no LeVar Ball slander. LeVar Ball is the GOAT, point blank, period. Anyway, big shout out to Liangelo, hard working. Man, everybody counted him out. Everybody said he was never going to be good enough to be in the NBA. But in reality, he's just as good as Lonzo and LaMelo. And here's the funny thing. The things that people laugh at about Lonzo and LaMelo, those are Gelo's strengths. They tell Lonzo and LaMelo to get stronger. Liangelo's 240, solid. Liangelo's 240 pounds of a grown man. They tell Lonzo and LaMelo to work on their jumper. Liangelo's the best shooter in the family. He's the best pure scorer in the family. When they were on Chino Hills, Liangelo was the one leading them in points. As a junior and as a senior. Liangelo's the one that dropped 65 points in a high school game. He's the one who dropped 72 points in a high school game. Not Lonzo. I mean, LaMelo did drop 92, but still, Liangelo was doing this over and over again. The dude averaged 34 points a game as a senior in high school. And he just never really got his credit. He never really got his due. Yeah, he was a 3-star recruit out of high school, and we all know about what happened at UCLA. We all know. But he overcame that. And then he overcame that. Then he went to Lithuania. And everybody loved to judge that whole thing. You look up Gelo's numbers in Lithuania, he had averaged about 13 points, about 4 rebounds. But he shot 42% from the 3. And what people don't understand is that when you play European basketball is team-oriented. A lot of guys in Europe don't even work on individual basketball moves in terms of one-on-one until they're a lot older. The team always comes first. You don't see guys that play European basketball average 20 points a game. That doesn't happen very often. Number one, there's 3 seconds. The pace is a lot slower. The court is a lot smaller. The rules are completely different. They're not designed for you to score in bunches like that. So the fact Liangelo Ball was 18, 19 years old, going into that league, barely playing like 20 minutes a game, averaging 12 points a game, and shooting 40+% from 3, you'd think him being the younger brother of an NBA lottery pick that would help, but I guess not. So he had to grind. He had to grind and 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 grind some more. But it's okay. It made him tough. It made this man strong. It made him who he is. And the Pistons finally took notice, just like the OKC Blue took notice. And I want to put this out there. I'm not one of those people that think Liangelo is going to be Klay Thompson. I'm not one of those people. But I think if he commits himself to defense, I think he could be a PJ Tucker type of dude. There's nothing wrong with being a 3-and-D player. I think he can be a successful NBA player. Now, we haven't seen Gelo really play basketball since his time here in the JBA. And before you make fun of the JBA, understand something. LeVar didn't even want Liangelo to play in the JBA, but LaMelo was actually struggling. Well, LaMelo wasn't struggling. The LA Ballers were struggling, and they needed some help. So in comes Liangelo to win the MVP, to average damn near 50 points a game, and to win the daggone championship. So let's not act like Liangelo wasn't crucial for LA winning the championship. Could you imagine the media if the LA Ballers didn't win that championship and LaMelo was on the team? Come on now. You know, one thing about Liangelo's always gonna get you a bucket, man. That's one thing you can't always rely on Melo and Lonzo for. They ain't gonna get you no bucket like Jello. Not saying Jello is the best, but I think he's definitely the best scorer. He's definitely the best offensive player that they have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just happy my man's is finally getting an opportunity. And it kind of sucks because the OKC Blue had picked him up last year. And that's how you know he's worked, because he went from a practice player to getting signed for the rest of the season. And then the pandemic happened. And now he's with Detroit. In Detroit, he's on an Exhibit 10 deal. So basically that means your boy, he ain't necessarily on the roster because it's a non-guaranteed deal. And Detroit just got a G League team. So isn't it fitting that Liangelo would get on the Pistons as they get a new G League team? Go figure. I know, right? But this is the chance he needed. This is what he's worked so hard for. I think he belongs in the NBA. I think he definitely belongs in the NBA. And if we're looking at the Pistons roster right now, they're pretty thin when it comes to shooters. They got Svi Mikhailuk. Who else they got? They got Wayne Ellington, and I can't think of another pure shooter that they have on the squad. There's no reason that Liangelo shouldn't make this team. And this clip that I'm showing y'all right here in the JBA USA game, this is when he dropped 65 points. Do y'all realize how crazy that is? It doesn't matter what level you're on. 65 points in an organized game is ridiculous. 65 points in an organized game is absolutely ridiculous. And he shot 60% from the field and 50% from three this game. You know what I'm saying? You can't, like, people love to count out the JBA, bro. You can't just count it out. Now, you have to take into consideration that LeVar Ball's system is kind of chaotic. Up and down, pressing all game, long passes, cherry picking, quick jumpers. You know, it's designed to put up points. You'll never see a LeVar Ball team score under 100 points. It's not going to happen. So his stats are a little bit inflated, but to still drop 65 points is pretty impressive. Let's look at this. Liangelo has dropped 60 or more points in high school, during the JBA, and during the JBA USA Tour, and in the exhibition game in Lithuania. He's dropped over 60 points in 4 different leagues. Imagine that? Not 4 different leagues, but 3 different leagues, my bad. But he's dropped 60 points in multiple times, man. I'm just glad my guy is finally getting an opportunity, and I hope he runs away with it. But that's all I got for y'all, man. You know, let me know what y'all think about Liangelo. What's his ceiling? What's his floor? Do y'all think he's going to make an NBA roster? Let me know in the comments below. And at the end of the day, let's remember, LeVar Ball's the GOAT. One-on-one, never lost. Let's get that match between Michael Jordan. All right, we out of here.